Sorry about that, y'all. My internet was knocked out. I don't know what happened. I had a conversation with the legendary Wacky World of O and got distracted for a minute, but that's okay. That's okay. We had a good conversation. We talked about a little bit of everything and things like that nature, but we talked about the stuff we talked about in part one. I won't say this is part two, but and I got a little sidetracked. That's okay. That's okay. That happens sometimes because normally I don't, go longer. I don't have no distractions like that. But normally it's just, and I understand, but this is what I'm doing at the moment. So yeah, it just cut off like that. But that got some good views. But this is hold on. Let me put this right quick. Oh shit. Da, 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 da. Let's go this right quick. That's 42. Okay, 42 right quick. Okay. We'll say part two. We're gonna say part two. Part two. Because this is an ending. This ain't no, because I'm about to close this out real soon. Just give me a couple of seconds. But yeah, I'm gonna close this out. In closing, appreciate him coming through. But yeah, my stream got popped because of the internet connection. You know how it is. But they try to say it's restream, but nope. Because it happens every now and then. It's on my end this time. But sometimes when you're streaming like that, I have to be careful. So, and actually it was good. It was good. It's just the string got loopy for a minute. So it's what it was. And that's it. Hold on for a second. Thank you. But this is what it is. We talked about a lot about the modern day females and things like that. And then these niggas complaining online. And it's pretty much it, because I think I was going, was flowing and whatever, but that was it. So mainly, dang, I gotta find the studio. Hold on for a minute. Cause I think this ain't entertainment. This is just part two because the last one we popped out, but it ain't gonna be a long one. So let me get in the studio real quick. Cause sometimes, things happen. I got sidetracked and I sound boxy. I know. I sound boxy. Y'all got to bear with me because some things it happens. It happens to the best. It happens to everybody. I try to keep my shit right, and then you got a little distraction in the background. But eventually, I will deal with that in the future. So don't y'all just got to bear with me. Bear with this shit because this shit is annoying sometimes. But it's what you deal with. But you don't get. You try to push through like they always say. I don't like doing this like that, but we try to be better. And then you try to be, you know, fair with it. Oh, come on. This thing's gonna take forever to load. So, I gotta make sure because I'm gonna end off this with a good note because that was a great conversation we had. We talked about a lot of stuff that men should be doing and not should be doing, but this things happen on the net, whatever. So it's pretty much the same. Try to have a fucking podcast, but I can't. But I don't have time to do shit, but that's happens. But once you're a former content creator and a currently one, it gets a little harder. So that's why I'm limiting it next year because you ain't gonna see me a lot of streams like that. Like I said earlier in part one, like for the weekdays, it's gonna change. I'm gonna start pre-recording and just push it out there. I ain't got time for this bullshit. The only way I'm gonna do a certain time if I ever stream, it's gonna matter to me because it's got to be a day I need it because I can't do it like I always do what I want to do. So Sundays I picked this time for a very similar reason. Yeah, part one is in the books. It is what it is, but it's just what mainly you see what's going on right now. So that's what it is. So Yeah, it was a lot, but appreciate the likes, y'all. I mean, appreciate it. So it's like normally I'm just seeing for what it is. I'm gonna see something right quick. I'm gonna get in the studio right quick. Yeah, it's just in closing, just in the conversation. But I think normally we was talking, and that happens. And don't mind the distraction I had, but but he was flowing. But we had a conversation. I might drop the link down. Hold on for a minute. It may be short because I want to have a proper closing because this shit is just went off the rails and the connection went out and was flowing and shit. Let me see something real quick. 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 People trying to sound crazy. No, I do this. This is what I do. I normally don't do it during the week like that because I had to keep it balanced. So that's just, just, I'm going to move this around because my internet got knocked out, because that happens. When I'm streaming like this, you already know it's a good conversation because I normally don't do a lot of streams like this. I'm going to pin this again and I'm going to cut this one short. So, yeah, it's pretty much. Let me turn the other one down. So, we had that conversation before. Oh shit. Little wire interference, but it is what it is cuz yeah, I'm trying to do my best here cuz but those 3 hours was worth it. We had a lot of great conversation cuz if you heard on the tail end it was my internet went out, so I apologize for y'all for that cuz I was trying to do a closing. And this is like a closing part too. Like in closing, you got to be mindful what's going on. And let's not worry about what part one. We said a lot in part one. We said a lot. We said a lot. And I think that is very telling what's going on. We talk about modern politics and modern days and men's been treated in society, certain things. Like I talk about a lot of things. So me personally, when I hear these dudes talking about the relationship content, I mean it's stale content. I've heard it years and years. It's the same old arguments. And I talked about Duke the Don. I talked about the George Macon situation with the Charleston White. I talk about a lot of people, and then yes, I mentioned Suge on the tail end and all that stuff. I watch his shit from a distance. Someone posted in the subscription, and he's going against Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown's going against guys like him and all that stuff. If I was Kwame Brown, I wouldn't even mess with niggas on the internet. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble because them to stoop so low to try to dox you. That's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit. And I try to be fair to people on here, but these niggas is crazy. But that happens sometimes. But I think those 3 hours are worth it. I think we went 3 hours and so many seconds, and it's a lot of football games that played. I can't believe the Buccaneers got destroyed by the Steelers, just about 2 points. And the Browns, they was killed by the Patriots. What else is new? And the big games tonight, Cowboys and Eagles, that's the NFC East game. They both got the solid records. We'll see what's going on here. We'll see. AFC, I don't really care for that. Ain't got no time for that. Let's go to NFC. Okay, Eagles is 5-0. Cowboys is 4-1. Giants is 5-1. So yeah, I'm gonna take this down. The sports section. I gotta see what's going on. I gotta edit my shit now because I gotta edit now because that's a long live stream because I usually don't do a whole lot of hours, because I used to on the other part, StreamYards. I used to do that a lot. And the thing about StreamYards, you gotta understand, they don't give you a lot, because I went 12 hours once when I upgraded on that just for a year. And that thing is expensive. I had to cut back on it. And I said, and I tried it again. The only reason people use StreamYards if their internet connection matches. That's basically it. And they don't have that issue. They have a stable. The only downside I hate about StreamYards, they don't have a pre-recorder. that thing's made from live streamings and things like that. Some people use pre-records and they can cut it up and edit. I ain't doing all that. I mean, when I edit, I just edit simple. I ain't trying to uh build anything or things like that. But appreciate y'all coming through on that Sunday Madness part one on the 42nd one, because it was Degenerate, Information Man, Legendary Wacky World. He came on the panel. Shouts out to him and everybody else. Roguish. Who else came through? Mike. Who else came through? Because I'm trying to remember, because I got cut off, and then and that happens. Because on StreamYards, I never had this issue, because it usually, when the internet went bad, that was at night. But in the day, I got to see what's going on, because sometimes this thing can just pop out immediately. So I had to be careful. Yeah, I was streaming for a good minute. I had so many things going, so I have to be mindful of that. And first of all, hold on for a minute. I'm going to go on mute for a minute. I'll be right back. Yeah, I had to knock that tab off. I had to knock that tab off, because that can strain it too. Because I'm learning not to do too much, because you have to get used to it. It's one of those things, the weaknesses of it. And they try to say it's a computer. No, I know what it is. My thing is working on my end. It's just sometimes it gets like that. And then I have the other connection. I was like, nah, I don't want that. We just had a good conversation, and then I want to end it off with a good note. And I just want to end it off like, yeah, we talked about the main basis of the meat of what we were saying in part one. Part two, I just want to end up closing. Yeah, they're not going to change. They're going to be who they are. It is what it is. It is what it is. So technically, you see this going on, and I'm just looking at it like, that's what we're saying. But I sound boxy on the other one, because I got pissed on the other one. But I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna take this little cord out. Yeah, I'm done with that mic for now, because I wasn't trying to be ready for it. So I don't know what's happening. It happens sometimes. When you're streaming this long, but I try not to stream this long, because this is gonna be a 13-minute stream. So don't pay attention to this. This is a closing part right here, because I know this ain't gonna get that much views, so I don't really care at this point, because this is one of those things that I looked at. But see, part one, we talked about it, we explained, and we both had great points. We talked about the situation with the Trayvon situation. We broke that down, and I said, look, George has to understand, like, when you get attacked by certain people like that, you fuck with the 501(c)(3) charters. You got to remember, you got to play their rules in their little game. That's the only way you're gonna be successful. And that's my advice. I mean, we had some disagreements and things like that, but it was a good conversation. It was a great conversation we had for a while. I know people were stuck in doing their thing, but that's how I look at it. But that's just how I'm going to see for what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that I get my emotions in and things like that. So it's pretty much it. So shouts out to everybody that came through. I think it was Mike. I think it was Roguish, Legendary Wacky World of O, and who else came through? It was Information Man, Degenerate. Yeah, Degenerate came through. Silent Candy. I mean, Psycho Candy came through. It's several people came through, but shouts out to them though. Like, I appreciate them coming through, supporting whatever. Yeah, I had to get that one out today, and I had to get it out like on normal time 2:30. This is a part two. This is a closing stream, so if y'all want to come up for the last 5 minutes or whatever, that's cool. But me, I'm just gonna close this one out. Apologize for what happened in part one on the tail end, because it got knocked out, and I didn't panic. Of course, no, restream was working. It was on my end, so I had to learn that things happen. It ain't for no fucking reason. It should not be a reason happening, because no, it should be consistent like always. because I always flow through it. I don't usually fuck up on these streams like that. You know what I'm saying? But it happens. You know, a strong connection ain't the issue. Sometimes it's they software. The softwares can be trash too. They can't hold. That's the cons I have with Restream. If you're using the standard, you're gonna have some problems. But if you use high quality, it's good, but it's still like, all these sites are not perfect. I'm just telling you that right now. It's just I've yet to see any better. People move different ones all the time. I don't like using Zoom. Some people love Zoom. I don't like Zoom. Period. It's unstable on mine because I have a different computer. If I had a Windows computer or something else, I would have something like that. I was able to use Zoom, but Zoom is like, no, it's a no go for me. I tried that. I said I'm not paying for that. Not because there's a lot of things I would pay for, and some things I will not pay for. Now, StreamYard, that's the only one everybody's using. That I will stick to that until they make some changes. But to that, Restreams is good too. I like Restreams, but the connection thing can be very tricky. I'm using gear, of course. I mean, I'm pushing through, but it's just like you gotta be mindful of what you're doing. But and I ran with this problem once, and I think Restream had a little connection issue with the streaming, and everybody's streaming at the same, but it ain't really the same time. Mine connection is good. It's just sometimes it happens. So they need to adjust that or update it or whatever and let us know, and then I'll move my stream somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I've used it temporarily shit. I just don't like doing temporarily things. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like doing that. Like, because they get on my nerves half the time. I'm trying to get to a point, a subject. I'm trying to just get this out and then that's it. Because when I did marathons, when people was not doing nothing, like was it last year? That was good for last year. This year is kind of like it's a wash because everybody's out of the pandemic and they acting crazy. I'm just back to my old content creator. So it's not easy. It's not easy because you're trying to learn what you have. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it right here. So with that, I'm gonna say peace and shalom, and I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Peace.